we're live. Hey, welcome to episode 1 of Scenic Car Talk with me, Mike Gentry. And today we are talking all about China, and I'm talking with James Wickenden.
Hi guys.
Who is our operations manager here at Scenic Car Tours. So episode 1, ironically, will be all about China, which is our only tour that isn't a self-drive tour. It's actually it's on a coach.
It's a coach.
Yeah.
Coach or minibus, depending on the size of the group. When I went, I was on a minibus.
Yeah. So James, basically, give you an idea. This tour has been running since 2016. We've had about 60 passengers on this tour. So James actually went on this tour in April 2018. So we're going to be talking about the time that he went.
Absolutely.
Which was last year, but it feels like a lot longer ago that you went. So yeah, exactly. All right, so I've got a few questions here. We've got about half an hour, so I might as well start it off. Who is Christine Gong, and who is China Prime Tour? So that's who you're booking with. You're booking with us, but
we have a partner company that we work with called China Prime Tour. Christine is their top lady out there. Lovely lady. She comes over to England every year and meets everyone. Meets with us, and she looks after our guys when we're out there. She does a fantastic job. She primarily works from their head office, which is somewhere I can't pronounce.
Okay.
But she has her own guides that escort the tour fully, literally from the moment you land in China to the moment you leave. You've pretty much got a guide the entire time. The only times you're without a guide is when they wave goodbye to you for the bullet train, but then as soon as you get off the bullet train, you've got another guide there waiting in the arrivals terminal, and then the same again with the internal flight. They literally walk you right up to the gate, and then there's someone at the gate when you arrive. So you are well looked after by China Prime Tour for the entire time.
Cool.
And they do a really good job. Really nice. Speak great English. They give themselves English names, so you can, if you need to call after them for whatever reason.
All right. So they're not even called.
No, they did give me their real names, but one of them was Dave, one of them was John.
So it's easy for you to remember.
So
yeah.
if you need to shout out saying "Where's the loo?"
Yeah.
Then they can turn around and reply to you, because obviously they'll be leading the group round a lot of the main places, which can be busy. When I went, it was very, very manageable. It was actually fairly quiet, but yeah, they try and make it as easy as possible. One of the guys we had was actually a specialist in tours of Europe for incoming Chinese tourists.
Okay.
So he speaks very good English. He does tours of England, London, Paris is very common. And he spent a lot of time in Europe, so his English was very good.
Great.
And they're all really nice guys.
Good. Excellent. How easy was it to get the visa? They had to get out like a month beforehand.
It was my first visa.
Right, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it was anyway. I mean, counting Chittiser and stuff like that. No, for me it was very simple. I filled out the form. I'd done it all in a day. You can fill it out online. And you had a 50-50 chance whether you was going to get called down to the passport and the visa office in London. Now it is a mandatory thing that everyone has to go down to the visa office, but you fill out the form ahead of time, and going what everyone told me last year, you literally fill out the exact same form I did. We give you a lot of help with that, because they need to know stuff about China Prime Tour, your inward and outward itinerary, what you're going to be doing whilst you're there. Obviously we give you all of that, make it as easy as possible. Pretty much the same form I filled out. You take that with you to the visa office. They take your photo, I think they do thumbprints and stuff like that, and then normally within a week you get your visa.
Brilliant.
Nice and easy.
Quite easy. Excellent. Nice. Okay, so we're straight into it. How was Beijing?
Beijing was incredible.
Yeah?
I was in love with Beijing.
Yeah?
It was an incredible place. Like, massive, honestly. I'd never been to a city with such scale.
The road book here, so you were staying at the Le Jingwang International Hotel.
Jingwang Hotel.
Yeah.
No, it's great. All the hotels we use are catered more towards Western tourists.
Of course.
So they all speak great English.
Yeah.
They've got options for Chinese and Western food if you want to eat in the hotel. I never even got the chance because we was always out in restaurants.
Of course. Yeah.
Like the bars.
Yeah, because this is fully escorted.
Yeah.
This tour fully escorted. So
we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner pretty much.
There's no days at leisure or anything like that.
No, if you want a day at leisure, you can, but then you're going to miss out on something.
Of course you are.
So the time you spend in the hotel will be fairly minimal. By the time you get back at night, after a 4 days excursion, you'll be sleeping then out on the road again come 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's nice full days. There was a lot of time obviously travelling between destinations, so it's not like you're completely exhausted, but the hotels themselves are lovely. Rooms I felt were massive, really well equipped. baths, showers, large beds, great views of the city I had as well. A lot of other people said they're good views. One of the ladies, bless her, was actually scared of heights, and they put her on the top floor. So I offered to swap with her.
Yeah, very human.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Brilliant.
So I bit the bullet and swapped for the top level floor, so I had a great view over the city. But no, fantastic location. They actually, as well, the hotels are all fairly situated next to like local shops and things as well, which speak very good English because they get a lot of Western tourists in there. So at night, if you fancy a Mars bar, you can pop to the shop.
Yeah, something you know that's going to be reliable.
Nice and safe.
You've had it before, and
you're
not taking any risks.
Exactly. They do a lot of in the shops as well. I found they do a lot of European beers and stuff like that. Very interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the shops are good, and they actually encourage you to go out and explore the local area if you've got time.
Yeah.
Really
excellent.
Nice, really nice.
Let's talk about Tiananmen Square.
Yes.
Obviously, there was a big thing that happened in 1989. It was with the protests, and obviously there was a bit of a massacre.
Yeah.
So obviously you can go there, but obviously it's they don't really talk about what really happened, and obviously I've sort of glossed over what really happened here, but loosely it was a massacre with students. Is that correct?
Yeah. To be perfectly honest, they gave us a very brief story. Obviously, as you can understand, the way the Chinese government is, they don't like to shine light on it because it was quite a dark time.
Yeah.
So they don't like talking about it.
Right.
It's almost
that's strange because it happened, but obviously
they almost want to put it behind them.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
1989, not that long ago.
Yeah. A lot of our clients, obviously, who are older than me, obviously remember it very fondly. I personally didn't know about it until maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When I started taking an interest in travel in foreign countries and going really far afield. But a lot of the guides, when we was in, a lot of the guests when we was in Beijing were asking the guide about it. They wanted to know about it.
Of course.
And he was very honest and said,
well, yeah, if you tell someone, let's not talk about something, you're going to want to talk about it.
Yeah. So obviously we're going to go to Tiananmen Square, you can stand, you can take pictures and whatnot, but they advised don't talk about it.
Yeah.
They just said it was a very dark time.
Yeah.
So they put it behind them. They're all very happy. I'll get onto it later, I'm sure, but the country itself is buzzing. Everyone's so happy.
Good.
It's like you couldn't believe that sort of thing would have even happened.
Sure.
And even the guide said he has a wonderful life in China. And yes, it was a dark time, and it is sad that there's no remembrance for it. I think the closest memorial.
Nothing's written up.
Nothing's written up.
Oh, wow.
The closest memorial, as far as I'm aware, is in Hong Kong. That's the closest memorial, which obviously is hundreds of miles away.
Yeah.
Which is sad. But I'm not going to pretend to know I knew what happened.
No, of course.
I've seen the BBC reports and stuff in the archives and things. I watched all that before I went when I was researching the country. So yeah, it was a dark time, but it was interesting. And obviously the square itself is amazing. The buildings around it, the actual Parliament building, which was quite incredible, and the monuments they got there, it's great. And then actually, when you're at the square, you walk from the square to the Forbidden City. They're next to each other.
Okay.
So as you're walking through the square, you can see the Forbidden City there in the distance. You just get closer to it, and then you go under the road, and then you're going through the main gates of the Forbidden City. It's all in that one location. It's pretty much a whole day, which was fantastic. It really was. The architecture, the people. I actually quite like. They have a lot of, obviously, quite a high police presence and army presence all around Beijing, which is great. I mean, the crime level was massively low compared to somewhere like here, but they look very smart.
Yeah.
They're all marching around, and they do look really smart. So
excellent.
It was really good, really interesting.
Cool. Let's talk about the Great Wall of China. Got some facts here with a total length of 13,170.70 miles. Wow.
It's
equals to half the length of the equator. Great Wall of China is the longest feat of human engineering. Wow, and it's 2,700 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So how much of this did you see? Is there just an area just for sort of?
So yeah, we go
the area.
We go. Yeah, it's an easy to access area.
Yeah.
It was a bit of the wall that was repaired for the Olympics.
Right.
Obviously, was it 10 years ago?
Yeah.
They rebuilt the wall, this part of the wall, which is quite close to Beijing. It's about 2 hours out of the city, which you go on bus and you go through the mountains, which is a nice drive in itself.
Yeah.
And then you arrive at this area. It's got a large visitor centre, and you can either choose to walk up the wall, or get the cable car.
Right.
We included the cable car for obvious reasons.
Of course. Old clientele.
Yeah, the cable car itself took 5 minutes. So
right. Okay.
That one for up a sheer wall. So,
oh wow.
Yeah. But once you get up there, you are pretty high up.
Yeah.
You get great views, and the only way I can describe it's how Bob described it before I went. He says it looks like someone's draped caramel over the hills. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
And you think, how on earth
Yeah.
And you think, Trump's struggling with his wall, and this thing was 2,500 years ago.
2,700 years ago, more than 1 million labourers were recruited.
Yeah.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah, and it's tall, it is steep, parts of the wall that you can go to if you want, I did.
Yeah.
If you follow the wall, because you can follow it for miles.
Yeah.
I walked for about 20 minutes down the wall when I got to a bit that was so steep I was on all fours.
Oh, blimey.
It was that steep. And yeah, it's quite incredible that they even built it like that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It was actually breached by Genghis Khan, though. I've got a fact here, so it actually didn't even do its job.
No.
The 13th century, bit of history there for you.
Yeah, a lot of the parts that were broken were breached.
Yeah.
And obviously just degraded over time.
Yeah.
The wall itself is hollow. It's got areas inside where the soldiers could sleep, and they had all their equipment there and stuff like that. So it was breached a lot.
Yeah.
So,
but it still attracts 50 million visitors every year, so still pretty good.
It is a wonder. It is insane. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Cool.
I think that they built that 2,500 years ago.
Yeah.
Is just insane. And we was up in the mountains, they had to get all those materials up there.
Yeah.
They had to get all the equipment up there to build it. I don't know how they done it.
Incredible.
I honestly don't know how they done it.
Let's move on to Xi'an.
Yes.
Let's talk about that and talk about the Terracotta Army as well. So that's another
amazing
wonder. Yeah.
Once again, it doesn't quite get you until you see it there in front of you. When you first walk in, there's basically these three massive halls that you can go into, like big domes that are climate controlled, that you go into. And the first one you walk into, Area 1, which they tell you to go to first, you can go to whatever one first, is the one where they've got them all standing up. The stuff you've seen in the films, so they're all standing there in line with the forces and everything, hundreds of them, going on and on and on. And when you first see it, it is amazing.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
I've got here that it's not just, like you say, soldiers, it's chariots, horses, musicians, acrobats, birds, ducks.
Yep.
And apparently they're all different, every single one.
Every single one was different, yeah. So the bodies for all of the soldiers were all built in one place.
Mm-hmm.
From what they told me, the emperor at the time then reached out to all of China's greatest craftsmen and asked them to construct a head to certain dimensions.
Right.
Which is why every single one of them has a different face, because each one was made by a different craftsman. And you can tell which ones were the cheap ones because they were crushed when everyone found them.
Blimey, yeah, of course.
But
they're gluing them back together, or
so this is what a lot of people don't know. The Terracotta Army, when they discovered it, and you'll see it in, I think it's Hall 3. You see it.
Right.
It's crushed. Under the roof they built for it was only made out of timber and straw and a bit of soil. And that was it. And it did collapse over time. So most of it has been smashed. All the stuff you see there in that first hall has been painstakingly put back together by these incredible archaeologists.
How many people are there?
Well, we saw there was about a dozen, and they're all students. They get 1 year working at the Terracotta Army, and then they get 1 year at uni, 1 year at the Terracotta Army, and then 1 year back at uni. So it's like the best job you could once you work there, you can work anywhere.
Yeah.
So they were all very young. There obviously one guy there who was in charge, but they were all very young. And for example, the terracotta they have to mix to basically glue everything back together.
Yeah.
It takes on average 30 days to get the mix right, because it has to be exactly the same as each soldier that was built, so to make sure the colour is right. And that's why when you see them stood up, they look like they're in one piece.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't even know.
No.
And I didn't know until I got to Hall 2, when you see them putting them all back together, you see them all stood there.
And they're doing that live in front of you.
So you've got all these...
That's just an attraction itself, just watching someone... It's a massive jigsaw.
That's it. And you've got rows, so they start with the feet, and you can see all the feet held together with all these metal straps they put around them.
Yeah.
And it goes up to their knees, then their legs, then their torsos, and the next thing you know, they've got them fully built, all tied together until the terracotta sets, and then they move them into the next hall and display them. Or send them to London.
Fantastic. Yeah, exactly, because they do the rounds, don't they? They've come here and they've gone to Liverpool, I think. And
that's it, yeah.
No, I'd like to see them here rather than
so Hall 2. Hall 2 was basically a recreation of Hall 1.
What was you telling me? I remember you telling me about the Emperor, and they haven't uncovered him. Is that right?
Yeah. So the Emperor's tomb is somewhere in Xi'an.
Right. Emperor Qin?
Yes.
Yeah. Because this is his army, isn't it?
Yes. So they know where he is. There's a big hill that you'll drive past. You'll see it in the distance, a big hill, when there's an absolute no-dig zone. And it's they know it's there, but they know that the condition the Terracotta Army was in, they don't want to disturb it until they have the technology to do it right.
I was going to say, what are they waiting for?
Yeah, so when they discovered the Terracotta Army, they basically caused more damage when they started to uncover it, and that's when they realised, right, we need to do this right. They built these big domes over it.
Yeah.
They mapped out where the army was so they wouldn't have to extend the domes or anything, and then they started digging, and that's how they done it. The emperor is supposedly buried in the middle of this big hill, like mini mountain.
Right.
And they are worried that he is in the same sort of condition. So, and because there's a lot more weight on top of him, they don't want to excavate him until they know how to do it.
Well, there's no rush, is there?
No, exactly.
So he's still going to be there, isn't he? So, like you say, get it right and then get him out. And
exactly. Yeah. There's a crazy thing as well. The farmer that owned the land they found the Terracotta Army on is still the owner of the land. He doesn't get any money for it,
right?
Because it's considered a national treasure. But he does visit the Terracotta Army on a regular basis, to talk to people and just meet people and ask where they've come from and stuff. He wasn't there when I was there, but apparently the day before he was there signing books and stuff.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
fantastic.
He just walks around. So all he asks is that they don't take pictures.
So it's what, his family that discovered it, or
it was just on his land.
Right. Okay.
He was farming the land.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the ground collapsed beneath
in
it.
1974. Apparently, it was discovered by local farmers.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's probably him then.
That's it. Yeah. The ground just suddenly collapsed where he was, and then they found it, and then next thing you know, they called in the government to check it out, and then they booted him off and started excavating, and that was it. But he is still the proud owner of the land.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah. So.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Shanghai. Any highlights? Then we'll go on to food as well.
Yeah. So Shanghai is one of the most high-tech places I've ever been.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's like in James Bond.
So you got the TV Tower.
Yeah. The downtown area, like you've seen in James Bond, it's all neon lights, holograms.
Yeah.
Huge billboards that are all like moving pictures and everything. It was just so high-tech. What really surprised me was the waterfront area. It's all British.
Oh wow!
Because it was built by a British colony, so all the buildings along the Bund, were originally all banks, so Barclays and everything.
Yeah.
And they look like they're straight out of London. So
fantastic.
The Bund
can
area,
you tell? Is it obvious? Oh really?
Yeah, you can. But then as soon as you walk 2 blocks in, you're in China again. But it's the weirdest thing because it was originally formed as a British colony. Colony.
Yeah.
It's a huge. Yeah.
Fantastic.
British architecture along the waterfront, which is quite insane.
Let's talk about food.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this thing up.
I was well fed.
So I was going to say, what is the difference between obviously Chinese food to us is not Chinese food? Oh, I imagine that.
Yeah. So
is that the case?
It's not China. Yeah. So in China, you will tend for dinner, the locals will have one dish. It will be noodles, or it will be rice, or it will be soup. They won't. Like when we order takeaway, we order everything under the sun. They don't do that.
Yeah.
And what surprised me is all the great British traditions. Your spring rolls, your prawn toast, your curries. That's all English. They don't have it.
Nice.
It's all English. What I had was absolutely delicious. I never got bored of it. A few of the clients did.
Yeah.
They said I'll never have a Chinese takeaway again, but
I can't imagine it's the same though.
No, it's not. It's what got me. It's very different. Loads of people enjoyed it, and they was pleasantly surprised every time we went to dinner, wondering what we were going to get.
Yeah.
One night we got sticky pork, which is amazing. One night we had duck, which they brought the duck out on a big cart and wheeled it out and started carving it up in front of us. That was really good. And a lot of it is all you can eat. So you'll get like they'll sit you on a big table with a spinning thing in the middle, and they'll put loads of dishes down, and then you just basically spin it around and take as much as you want. Is the idea.
Fantastic.
And you get one drink with each meal, and if you want to buy more, they're dirt cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll get a beer or a water or a soft drink or anything with dinner. They do love their beer out there. There's a beer connoisseur. It was alright. It tasted like Indian beer, Cobra, very very watery. But yeah, they're quite proud of their beer out there. But yeah, the food was lovely. Like I say, it's all pork or chicken or rice, and they do give you chopsticks.
Do they?
Yeah.
Did you use them?
I did.
Did you try?
Yeah, no, I still use them today.
Yeah.
If we order Chinese, I will use the chopsticks that I brought home with me.
Nice. Do they even give you cutlery, or just in case? Because obviously some people probably.
Yeah. There was one restaurant where they didn't.
Okay.
It should have been on the table, and they asked for it.
You're in China.
Exactly. So you're in China, but no, most people got used to the chopsticks and they enjoyed using them, and it was quite funny, especially when we had noodles for the first time. That was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, breakfast, lunch and dinner is traditional Chinese food.
Yeah.
For breakfast there are English options, there's eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the food, I felt the food was fantastic. It is very Chinese, and it's not the Chinese you get at home, but it's great to say that you've been there and you've had it. I went out in the evenings and sampled some of the local stuff as well, which is very similar. It's noodles or soup. They don't mix and match it. They'll have that or that. Yeah. So then you'll see a lot of noodle bars and things like that, and it's everyone just eats so much food out there. So much.
I can imagine. Cool. Anyway, any last words or anything? Obviously, we're going to wrap up in. So.
You can ask me about the Grand Prix.
That's it. Well, do you want to talk about the Grand Prix?
The Grand Prix was, if you're a fan, you've got to go.
Mm-hmm.
It is one.
You say it's really cheap, right, compared to Silverstone?
Yeah, we've actually put something on our website which actually says.
So Silverstone, what is it? Standard ticket's £200, right?
Yeah.
For just entry, but for the Shanghai Grand Prix.
Yeah. So the gold grandstand, right here.
Yeah.
On the main straight in Shanghai is half the price compared to just the Luffield grandstand at Silverstone.
There you go.
It is.
Did you know?
Yeah,
fantastic.
It is insanely cheap.
Okay.
We include these two grandstands by default. I actually sat here on the grass when I went.
Right.
Thankfully, I had beautiful weather. I actually got sunburnt quite badly, but I had beautiful weather, which was great. But I did say if it was raining, I would have had a bad day. So now we automatically include K or H. Now, the reason I have suggested this as a Formula 1 fan is that you get a view down the curve straight here.
Yeah.
This corner, which is where all the action happened when I was there. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So much overtaking, few contacts. It was really, really good. And then you can actually see them shoot off toward the final corner here. So no matter where you're sitting here or here, because there's nothing really here. There's a barrier, but it's only a metre high, so you can see all the way down here, and you can see all the cars coming out. It's just fantastic.
Great.
The entire track was built for spectators. The grass bank I was on, the grass banks here, are all built at a perfect 45-degree angle with a flat top. So whether you're sitting on the grass bank or on the top, you've got a fantastic view. I cannot describe it. It's so well engineered. The shame is that they don't actually use it much throughout the year.
Right,
so
okay.
The actual circuit is immaculate. It is clean. It is barely used. It is absolutely immaculate. And the race was fantastic. The only thing I would say is that they don't have many scoreboards up, at least when I was there.
Yeah.
So if you can get the app, I was sat next to a local Chinese guy with the app, and he saw me watching, and in the end just moved his iPad over.
Right, okay.
And we were both watching it together.
Oh, that's good, that's nice. Yeah.
So that was really good. But yeah, no, it was brilliant, and so the view was... The thing I noticed here is that all the grandstands are so close to the edge of the track.
Yeah.
Whereas other tracks like Silverstone, stuff like I've been to before, you're quite far away. So like when the bus came around with all the drivers on, everyone waving, you were so close. It was really. I took a picture and you could see every driver. You could tell who each driver was. It was really, really good. So the
good value for money, yeah.
Insanely good value for money. So if you want to upgrade, by all means upgrade. But we had a great time down here. I know most of the people. We had 2 people up here. And by the end of it, they wanted to be down here, so because that's where all the action was happening. Yeah, you never know if it's going to be the same year on year, but no, I had a fantastic time.
I bet.
It's definitely a great way to end the trip because the next day we flew on. Yeah.
And that's a wrap. James, share. Thank you very much.
Share.
That's episode 1 done. Thank you very much. Hope to do another one soon.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.